So I just bought a NASCAR transmission, and I gotta stick it in this Camaro. Hey y'all, today's a pretty big day. We're gonna start with the biggest project I've been waiting to do. We're gonna put this motor in this Camaro, and we are going to mate it up with a NASCAR transmission. Yeah, right here, NASCAR Tex Racing T101A, paired up with the Rolltech shifter. And why is it special? Well, you can full throttle shift it with no clutch. What's it mating with? Yep, I got the certificate. 510 horsepower. 383 stroker. I'm gonna run through the build sheet on this. Them Joe Blows that don't like to hide, or they like to hide everything. I'm not that guy.
You're not that guy.
I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all exactly what I put on this motor, because we all know over 500 horsepower on a small block Chevy's kind of rare. Naturally aspirated, of course, all motor. So I'll tell you what I did to get that throughout this video. I'm gonna go ahead and fire this motor up before we put it in, make sure everything runs smooth. I took a couple things apart after the dyno. So we're gonna put it together real quick and then fire her up. All right, we got it all wired up. Got our bottle of just in case. We're gonna see if she fires. Huh? Yeah, you'll want to plug yours. You ready? Alright, so what in the holy habanero am I doing here? This is a scatter shield. That is NASCAR transmission. The issue I'm running into here is on a stock 60s GM cars, this input shaft has a lot more tolerance. This NASCAR stuff is absolutely zero. Name of the game here, the hole where your input shaft feeds through needs to be perfectly centered to the motor. So the very center of this little hole needs to match the very center of this little hole by less than 5 thousandths of an inch. We got dowel pins right here. You can change those out, and what it'll do, it'll move the center of that hole. I'm gonna get this thing bolted up, torque it to spec. Hopefully, fingers crossed, I don't have to change the dowel pin.
Spoiler alert. 2 years of building has taught this moron absolutely nothing. He doesn't even make it another 5 minutes without having to stop and order more parts.
If we do, it is what it is. We'll be back tomorrow with the replacement parts. But if we do everything correct, old Shasta right here will be happy, and we won't have to worry about blowing her up. I'm gonna figure out how I can suspend this thing in there, because I gotta be able to rotate this motor. I'm gonna put it on the cherry picker, run a board underneath it, hit a flat spot, and that should do something, I guess. Sitting in a nest of Batman, with your bottles by my eye. Ooh, let them booze all on my website, full of people who are doing wrong. Just about a call of the DA man, when I heard this woman sing a song. if you're doing this, that's the best way I got to get this, because none of these engine stands are you going to be able to index a bell housing on, because they mount up using the dowel pins that you're testing to replace. That's just those are actually screwed together, but you know, stack a tube of 6s and just keep it on your cherry picker. It's the best I got. All right, we're back. It's next day. Got the Harbor Freight specials. Don't put this on your car. Obviously, got ARP ordered. 1.25 inch, and the ARPs I have are an inch 1.375. If you happen to have a QuickTime bell housing and a Blueprint short block, it's just too long. You know you're gonna need 1 inch bolts. So 3/8 by 16 pitch, 1 inch length, and you're good to go. So let's keep hammering. Got our dial indicator on. I'm going to use this hole actually as our 0 mark. Just, you know, right, whatever. But now I'm going to need some help turning over the motor. Assistant! She's my cherry pie. Cool drinking water, such a sweet surprise.
Hello.
Slow. Alright, we got just a teensy bit left. $17,000, yeah.
Is that good?
Spin it 180 from there. Give her a spin.
Okay.
This is half a turn only.
Okay.
Right there. No, you passed it now. You
Crap.
gotta go.
I'm locked in.
I'm gonna give me a new assistant if you don't get this under control.
It won't stay.
Keep going, about an inch. Right there. Whew. All right, thank you for your service, assistant. You are dismissed.
Thank you.
Hey y'all, first off, I want to say thank y'all for the last video. I mean, never in a million years thought I'd get that many views off the first video. I really gave effort in, so that's crazy. And like 100 subscribers too off of it, with nuts. Never thought that happened. So in an effort to give back to y'all, I'm gonna do y'all a favor. If you like and subscribe to this one, then you can go ahead and leave me a 4-word comment, and whatever you say, I'm gonna sign it into my car, in the cab or underneath. Try and keep it PG-13 or better, you know. But yeah, that should help me out. Immortalizes you in my car, and you'll forever be riding with me or whatever other diddler owns it whenever I'm dead and gone. But yeah, drop a comment below, like and subscribe. I'd much appreciate it. I'll start it off. Hey y'all, like and subscribe. All right, it's been a couple weeks, but I'm back. Had to help my nana around her house, a couple house projects, but our parts are in. We got an offset dowel pin. Went ahead and measured what the high spot was, marked it with a Sharpie, and then I hit it with a little punch. So I'm gonna go ahead and knock out my dowel pins, set these in place, redo this process again, and then at that point take one measurement. If we're good, then we can proceed on and install this transmission. We're at about 530 pointed down roughly, so that's what I'm gonna roll with. Lucked out right where we need to be. All right, now I'm gonna move on to getting this clutch installed on here. So pull the bell housing back off. Myself and everybody else been finger diddling that thing. So I'm gonna clean it, use a Scotch-Brite pad and some brake cleaner to take all that back off. But I ain't got none, so I'm gonna run to the store and I'll be right back. Got the new clutch in, still a McLeod. It's got a 10.5-inch clutch in there instead of an 11-inch, and that brings in the size of the pressure plate, so it should finally fit. So, gonna open it, get that surface cleaned up, pray a little, and hope it fits. Got her bolt steel, got a lube on her. Make sure you don't get none of that on your clutch disc though, or your pressure plate, or you'll be taking this all back apart again. Just need a little on the end. That's all you need, because once you start spinning that in, it'll work its way down the rest of them threads. Same principle on the underneath the head of the bolt where it makes contact with your washer. Now, the reason you're doing this, when it's dry, there's more friction. When you have it lubed up like this, it allows you to get, a real, true, proper torque spec on it. That's why you'll notice that the torque spec listed by ARP is going to be higher than a factory torque spec, because factory is dry, this is lube. This jumps up to 45 foot-pounds. Factory is 22. It's a heck of a jump, but we are going to follow what ARP says. All that extra lube too, I know it's like right up on that pressure plate. It's just going to throw itself off inside that bell housing. Centrifugal force, throw it right on out of there. Bell housing is going on for the final time now. This is what I like to use, thread locker. It's orange though. It's got the strength of red, but the tool breakaway strength of blue. So you don't got to use heat, and you can get it off with hand tools. So I love this stuff. As just in case, I'm gonna go ahead and dry run this transmission into here, bolt it up before I do the pivot arm and throwout bearing, just to make sure everything goes smooth. So now that this is indexed, this should go in without any kind of issues or clearance problems whatsoever. So it slid in slicker than Alpoo on tin roof. Seen it for the first time. I'm not gonna lie, I might get a little emotional. This is a long time coming. Still got to put the clutch fork in and a couple other parts. For now, this is what I can get done today. So let's check it out. We're gonna see what the wife and kid think about it.
Hi. Look what Daddy did.
Wow. So everything is
No.
oh, okay.
Well, so what is this?
The clutch fork's got to go in there, but this is it. This is the engine and transmission. What do you think?
It looks good.
It looks red, huh?
What do you think, Bryn?
Had to go pick up the clutch fork from my buddy's shop. He was working on another bell housing I had that I'm not going to use. But a couple of these parts need some paint like this in the motor mounts. Cleaned it up, degreased it, and now we're going to spritz it with a little paint. Woo, it's coming a gollywhopper out here. Brand new throwout bearing. If you're in here, just go on ahead and replace it. That feels nice. That little skateboard bearing. Got a funny story about this car and a throwout bearing. The entire reason this car is going through a restoration and not just going ahead and driving is because of a throwout bearing. It was about 20 years ago, my dad decided to take the entire car apart because it was making a weird noise. Come to find out, unfortunately he never saw it restored, but when I was going through all my parts, clutch fork and everything, I'm taking the original apart, figured out that the throwout bearing was installed wrong. They had it, you know, the clips around there instead of inside the channel where it's supposed to be. So, found out the hard way that literally the only reason it got taken apart was because of that. And when he decided to pull the motor, he decided, well, we might as well tackle the floorboards. And if we're going to do the floorboards, we might as well sandblast the whole thing and make sure nothing else is wrong with it. And then one thing leads to another, and the car is completely disassembled. It is a complete nut and bolt restoration because of a throwout bearing. Ain't got to go to the gym if you do this every day. Light, and then I'll come back and torque it. I know a bunch of you dang Jaspers are like, Brent, just give it a ugga-dugga. I'm alright. I'm good friends with my torque wrench. Torque spec, 55 foot-pounds. Got a crow's foot on it because I can't get a socket in there. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. That is done. And now we gotta drop it in. So name of the game now, put my motor mounts in, and swing that sucker in. That's why you don't do that, people. Good as new, baby. I've cut hunks out of the floor, but I think we finally got it. Let's see if we can get this thing to finally line up. Holy crap. It's in. Alright, hold on. Can't speak prematurely. Just because one side's in don't mean the other will be. Okay. We good to go. All right, so you bunch of diddlers want to make 500 horsepower? There's our horsepower if you want to pause it and read it. We did 510.5 horsepower and 497 foot-pounds of torque. Here it is by RPM. Made most of the power in the 5,000 RPM range. We talk about it all the time when it comes to turbocharging. Everybody knows the more PSI and whatnot, the more power you're gonna make. It's just airflow. It's the exact same stuff when it comes to naturally aspirated. For whatever reason, nobody talks about it. So when I'm picking parts for this, I'd set a budget, and then at that budget, I'd go and look up not manufacturer numbers, but bench test reports from independent people. How much is my carburetor flowing? How much is my intake flowing? How much are my heads flowing? All you gotta think about is this thing needs to breathe.
Breathe air!
We all know that an engine just sucks, bangs, and blows, so if you remove the bang part, what you end up with? It's an air compressor. My engine in particular, what did I run? Holly Brawler, it's over on the shelf, 750 CFM carburetor, stripper dominator intake. Strip dominator, set a Pro Max head. Why did you run Pro Max over something else? These flowed better. So compared to Brodix Iron Knocker Summit branded version of that, they have their Summit head. It's just an Iron Knocker. These on a bench test flowed better. We've got an XR 294 cam. It's a hydraulic roller setup, not a flat tappet, so it's their HR version. And then to give it a little more lift on top of that, I went ahead and ran 1.6 ratio roller rockers in there. I didn't want it to bark a little. I wanted it, to eat my face off. Since we did all that, we had to go ahead and then change the valve springs because the lift was too high and the open and close pressures, we just needed more. It's just LS valve springs inside of there. That was it. The bottom end of this, it's a blueprint. This is what Dad always wanted, so I went ahead and ran with that. It is their Short Block Plus. This is the non-forged version. Just went ahead and tried to remove all parasitic draw, so I'm running an electric fuel pump, electric water pump, manual brakes, manual steering, all that. Because all that stuff, it ain't a lot, but 5 here, 10 there, it does add up. All said in total, I'm pretty happy with it. Can't complain. Only thing I plan to do after this is maybe build like a SP2 NASCAR engine to mate up with the transmission and have a full NASCAR powertrain instead of half. But yep, that's what I did. 510 horsepower if you run my exact setup. If you don't, remember airflow for budget. Set your budget on a part, find these top end parts that flow the best, and that is how you're gonna max out your horsepower. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Hot dang, it's a golly whopper coming down now. Stage 2, cross member. It didn't fit. We're on the final stage of this install. Let me show you what we're working with. I had to hack up the living crap out of this floor to get this thing to fit in here. So we got a hole up top, needs to be patched. I didn't realize how far over this is gonna be. So I made my cut over here too far. So gonna make a patch right here. And then over here, I haven't quite decided yet if I'm gonna try and weld up something myself or have a buddy with the sheet metal bender come in and make a custom patch for that. But we do have it to where our rod is no longer making contact. I'm gonna spot weld the patch in up here and then run seam sealer around it. That way everything is sealed up and as good as factory. Once that's done, we have a fully installed engine and transmission. Some of that'll burn off when I'm welding, if not all of it, but I can't really get access under there once it's in place, so might as well just spritz a little paint on it, make sure we protect that metal. It's the best I got. That top plate went in pretty easy. The other one, not so much. I don't got time to get out there and use a sheet metal bender, so this is what I'm thinking. I'm gonna make me one of them Pythagorean theorem shapes. We gave it our best shot with that bent linkage. It didn't work. It was still just far too wide. So if you're thinking about doing this with a NASCAR transmission with a side shift on it, just go ahead, stay with the shift linkage that they come with. Don't waste your time on trying to do something to make it fit. It ain't gonna fit.
And all the girlies say I'm pretty fly for a white guy. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, cinco, seis. You know it's kinda hard just to get along today. Our subject isn't cool, but he fakes it anyway. He may not have a clue and he may not have style, but everything he lacks, well, he makes up in denial. So don't you play us right. You
working with. Nice little closeout panel, kind of a pyramid shape. Obviously the tape won't be there. Let's check it out, see if it fits inside the car. Fits in there pretty nice. I didn't want to just straight box it because I want the carpet to flow over somewhat decently well, so it'll come down, over, and down, back in. Yeah, I like it. We'll go ahead and weld this together. Then we're going to put another strip of flat bar right here that I can drill through and throw some spot welds into this. That way it pulls all this in together real well. Let's hammer it. All right, it's finished. I'm just sitting here having my celebratory ditty pitty. Before I show you all the end result, I want to go ahead and say thanks for watching. If you're one of the first 100 subscribers from that last video I got, which I count as like my first real video on here, I appreciate it. And don't forget, like, subscribe, leave your comment, and I'm gonna write whatever you put underneath the car or in it. If you're in this kind of stuff, up next in the pipeline, 315's going on the car. By the time you're watching this, I'm probably already working on it. I am gonna show you guys how to get perfect fitment on these cars. I mean, scientifically perfect. Well, I shouldn't say these cars, all cars in general. It's standard practice for anything you want to do, but got that coming up, and gonna also show you guys how to get a showroom, or let's just say SEMA quality engine bay. I'm not talking about the motor necessarily, but everything surrounding it on a budget, plus a ton more. So without further ado, this is the end result. I'm super pumped on this. I can finally bang some gears back and forth, but yeah, let's check it out.
Cuatro, cinco, cinco, seis. So don't debate, play us straight. You know he really doesn't get it anyway. Gotta play that feel and keep it real. For you know way, for you know way. So if you don't rate, just overcompensate. At least you know you can always go on regulate. The world needs.
Gotta rehydrate.